Yeah, hello and welcome to this tutorial. This tutorial was instigated by a question from an Excel group in Nigeria. And the question was that can we come up with a lookup, data validation lookup that picks names, and this is the list of names that picks this list of names and bring them into these cells. And the interesting thing about the question is that I can pick all of the 5 names, so I can only pick 3 names. And our drop down is going to be such that if we have picked the first name like Victor, our drop down in this other cell will no longer show Victor again. It's only going to show all other names that have not been selected. So that was the question, and this tutorial is an attempt to answer that question. So you see how I do that. I do that with helper columns so that we can see the formulas that mix it up and we'll be able to understand what is happening. So for this column here, I do a kind of lookup. So let's assume that we have Victor here. We have Victor here. And I do a lookup using the match function. Match. Want to match Victor, this name, from these 3 cells. We're going to lock it because we're going to be copying through comma, and what we want is an exact match, and we close and hit. And so this is what we get. So what it looks like here is that fine, Victor is on the list, so we have 1 and it is the first on that list. If we were to bring in, let's say we want to bring in Michael, let's say we bring in Michael, you can see Michael is the second on this list. So what I want to do, I want to take out these not available using the if error. So we're going to have if error to wrap our match function. And if we have an error, we just want it to return a 0 for us. So we do this. I must have missed something. If error. Okay, that's it. So, and there we are. So we have these zeros here. So it clearly shows that Victor has been selected, Michael has been selected. So I need a way to eliminate Victor and Michael. So what I do is come to this cell and use an if function. If whatever is in this cell is greater than 0, just give me 0. Else, I want you to give me 1. And so that's what I achieve here. So I'm going to copy this down. And then we are here. So what I do next is to come up with a cumulative sum. So a cumulative sum using the sum function, sum. I want it to sum this cell, and I'm going to hit my column, and there we are. But I'm going to make the row 3 absolute, so I need a $sign there. And so we hit this, and then we copy it down, and this is what we have. So you see that we have for Benga that we have not selected, he has 1, and we also have 1 for Michael, and we have 2 for Charles, and Oyewole has 3. So what's this going to do for us? So here I'm going to put serial numbers here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So having that, I'm going to use an index match to return a list of names that have not been selected here. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So it's going to be equal to index, and I'm indexing this column because I want a list of names. So we're going to lock that comma, and then we're going to do a match function. The match function is, its lookup is going to be this serial number. So what I'm actually trying to tell you to do is give me, looking up this cumulative sum, give me the name that corresponds to 1 here. So that's what it's going to do. So we have this, and we're going to come and select this column. So it's going to match with this column. So we're going to also lock it up, and the match is an exact match. So we have 0 there, and then we close our function. So I'm going to hit enter. So you can see that it gives me Benga. That's the name I've not selected. So I'm going to copy this down. And so I've got the 3 names that have not been selected. But I would like to eliminate the not available with an if error. So that's why our formula is going to look a little bit choked. So if error. And what we want to do is tell it that it should return nothing. And so I'm going to use that to do just that. So we're going to copy it down. And there we are. So if I should have Charles here, notice that it reduces the list to only 2 because my list is already occupied. I can't put in anything more. So these are not there, but we can go over it again. So all of the names are there now. Just to make it a little beautiful, let's just apply a border around it. Here is it. So no names have been applied here. So we're going to come to all of these cells and do a data validation, this time a list on it. So we're going to data validation, and we come here, pick list, and in here, while we select the source, we just go to our lookup list, select it, and okay, so that's fine. So here I select Victor. Notice that when I come here, I do not have Victor again. So let's assume that in the first one, I selected Oyewole. So notice that here, I no longer have Oyewole to select. So in this way, we can have a drop-down dependency that is able to give us a list of non-selected names in whatever selection we're making, just like you have it here. So I hope you understand. This is just my take on it. There could be other ways in which you can do it. But if you feel you're going to benefit from such, then here is it. Thanks very much for listening to this tutorial. I'll see you in another video.